everyone probably already watched my Xbox One overview and thoughts, and still upset about the whole DRM, and it was really a misstep on Microsoft's part. Without Austin and Sergio this time, just my thoughts and overview of the Sony E3 Day 1 conference, which right off the bat, I'm going to say this, I am not a fanboy of any system. Anybody who knows me or even watches this channel will see that I enjoy games on every platform. Every platform. I haven't played the Wii U yet. There are games that are interesting on the Wii U, but not enough games for me to justify buying a Wii U. But again, I enjoy all platforms. So everybody knows I hate the fanboy wars. Even having said this, and just watching people just bash Microsoft, rightfully so, but still bashing Microsoft and being, oh, PlayStation 4 is superior. At this point, what's been shown, especially because of the fact that Sony finally revealed no DRM, no always on, no used game restrictions, none of the garbage. It really is for the gamers. They've clearly won this. I hate to say it, but unless, Microsoft makes an entire, complete 720, get it? Xbox 720 turn to try and make things, anybody? No. Anyways, unless they make a complete change between now and the release in November, it's a no-brainer. I mean, so the Sony PlayStation 4, although it looks like an eraser, which is also an odd design for a console, it's cheaper, $100 cheaper, even though for that $399 price, it does not include the iToy. It's not really a big deal, especially because you don't need it, unlike the Kinect, which you're forced to use. Again, it's cheaper. There's no restrictions. The focus on indie publishers and being able to self-publish is also a huge deal. They really got it right on just about all fronts. And although not everybody may have been wowed by the games that were shown, and it was kind of underwhelming at first, but definitely built up a huge head of steam until it was just something amazing. The whole internet exploded when they announced that they are not going to participate in that DRM online so on garbage, which is definitely a smart move and is really, again, what's, unless things change, won this for Sony. They did announce, though, as far as PlayStation 1 is concerned, or not PlayStation 1, but PlayStation Plus is concerned. Sorry, Xbox thing mixed in there. It's going to be the same. The only difference is now you need PlayStation Plus in order to play multiplayer, which is probably going to make a lot of people gripe. For people who are already used to Xbox Live and paying for that, or people who are already playing for PlayStation Plus, it's really not big of a deal. It's no different, and it's not really a surprise, considering, it's kind of the way they were going. They were slowly transitioning into that with the initial release of PlayStation Plus, and now with PlayStation 4 and a lot of what they're trying to do, it's more or less like server maintenance fees. And with as ambitious as a lot of their games and their servers and what they plan on doing, they kind of need it. It's not too big of a deal. It more or less comes out to around the same price, and you still get everything that you get from PlayStation Plus anyways, and they're supposedly announcing more, but we'll see. It was a very interesting conference, and again, I'm glad to see that at least one developer, as far as Sony is concerned, actually cares about its gamers, unlike Microsoft, which kind of, again, excited for exclusives, and it now kind of feels like those exclusives are going to be wasted on Microsoft. But Microsoft really just showed us today that they care more about the publishers and making money. And I understand they have to work with publishers in order to make those games, in order to give it to the gamers and make that money, but they could have handled it a lot better. On to the games, though. They basically announced Killzone Shadowfall, which was already announced as far as the PlayStation 4 reveal. They kind of showed a little bit more of that. I'm not too excited for it. I know that's kind of blasphemy, at least for a lot of people who are big PlayStation fans, to which I, again, enjoy the PlayStation as well. I do have the PlayStation 3, and had the PlayStation 2, and the PlayStation 1, but I just couldn't get into it. I don't know. I can't really explain it. There's also Drive Club, another racing game that's kind of been announced and out there. Don't really know what more to say about that. I mean, if Austin were here, he's more of the racing type person. He'd probably have a little bit more. The one thing was interesting, Square Enix, they came out of nowhere. They were getting a huge amount of hate from a lot of the fans and people that were watching as far as a lot of things they're announcing, because they too were screwing up. They were talking about releases for games people didn't even want, as far as Lightning Returns, or I forget the actual title of the game. So they kind of made up for it in a huge way. A lot of people thought Versus was not going to happen, and thankfully it is. It's not going to be called Final Fantasy 13 Versus. I mean, they kind of show that as title, but they're officially calling it Final Fantasy 15, which is, you know, I have no problem. They can name it whatever they want. The game itself looks very interesting. The graphics, again, that's one thing Square Enix excels in. They have very beautiful graphics, the scenery, the characters, a lot that's going on is visually stunning. And the gameplay looks like it's a lot, it's very fast paced, almost looks like it's kind of more like Kingdom Hearts gameplay. And which is also great, they finally announced Kingdom Hearts 3, which, again, the internet just exploded with joy. I'm actually excited. I mean, a lot of people think that Kingdom Hearts is very childish, and I can see from face value how it looks that way. But there's definitely more to the game than what most people see. It's definitely, you don't judge a book by its cover. So to see that Kingdom Hearts 3 is released is also something I'm very excited about as well. And again, huge focus on indie. I mean, they had multiple different developers on stage showing off their games, kind of talking about it, and everybody was kind of giving each other congratulations, and it is a big deal because you can go ahead and self-publish and make games on, you know, PlayStation 4, and they kind of give you the tools to do so. Again, I mean, Sony's really doing everything right this time around. They are really trying to help people who want to become game developers chase that dream by allowing you to self-publish. They're allowing gamers to enjoy their games the way they're meant to be enjoyed, on a disc, playing games, lending it to a friend, or renting it from GameFly, like in my case. And none of that bullcrap gets in the way. It's about the games, which is what matters. But off of that tangent, you have Transistor, which I'm trying to figure out exactly how that game's going to work. I'm not entirely sure based on in the gameplay. It kind of looks like it's somewhat turn-based, or somewhat RPG in certain parts, and then it kind of just looks like it's an adventure-style game in others. But it definitely looks like a very good game. Don't Starve, which has already been on PC. A lot of people have been playing it. It's kind of more of a survival horror-style game. Art style is interesting. Gameplay also looks like it could be a lot of fun, so definitely want to see more when that's kind of revealed, or even probably just get it for the PC and play it for myself ahead of time. Mercenary Kings, from the developer of Scott Pilgrim the Game, also a famous pixel artist online for making some really crazy animations. It's going to be more of a 2D side-scroller, somewhat kind of Metal Slug / Contra game, so definitely excited for that as well. Octodad, Deadliest Catch, which looks very zany, kind of just awkwardly moving around, trying to accomplish missions. Also an indie game that I've seen on the PC. It's going to be coming to PlayStation 4. Raise the Dead. You play as Ray, trying to build up a zombie army. They really didn't go into too much detail as far as story, but looks like a lot of fun. Galaxy the Dimensional, kind of a freeform space blaster style game. I don't really know what more I could say about that. Secret Ponchos. It's kind of spaghetti western, moving around. They kind of showed off the gunplay. Looks like a lot of fun. Again, definitely want to see more as far as that's concerned as well. Again, they kind of just give you a taste of what the indie developers are showing off, and just showing, you know, what they're going to be capable of. You have Outlast, another kind of survival horror, but not so much like jump scares. Just definitely going for something a little more organic. Something that's truly meant to be scary. And then it was actually cool to see that Oddworld Abe's Odyssey is actually going to be completely remade, and this time it's going to be called Abe's Odyssey New and Tasty, because the fact that it's new, and no, I'm not going with that joke. They're back, which is great, and they're remaking their game, which also looks like it's going to be a lot of fun. One game I'm really interested in is The Order 1866. It's a steampunk style game. Kind of, it looks like it's more or less, well, steampunk is usually Victorian era, or at least Victorian era style anyways. And it kind of starts off when they're in the carriage. They're like, oh, the guy on the carriage is like, don't worry about it, everything's fine. You kind of see these people kind of armed to the teeth inside the carriage. Guy gets ganked. All you see is like a huge scratch against where he was supposed to be in mangled metal. And it starts to get really foggy, and you see kind of creatures hopping around. A lot of people are speculating it's werewolves, which is probably a safe assumption based on the scratches and what's going on. But it's definitely shadowy creatures, And you just see the characters kind of whip out their weapons. You get a lot of gunplay. They're firing normal weapons, pistols, rifles. One guy's got like a grenade launcher. It looks like it's an alchemical grenade launcher, which looks like it's a lot of fun. And it kind of just ends it with like a Tesla cannon. Just kind of whips it out, just fires at one of the creatures that's coming down. So being somebody who really enjoys the whole fantasy, hunting creatures, cult stuff like that, I can't wait to see what else they have to reveal as far as that game's concerned. And really, it's just like one after another. I mean, Xbox One, as I've already mentioned before, has some exclusives that I'm really interested in. But with Sony, it seems like one after another. If it's not something I definitely want to get, absolutely, or super excited for, it at least catches my interest. Watch Dogs. Again, Watch Dogs multi-platform, but still, if Xbox One's going to be going the way they're going, it looks like it's going to be PlayStation 4. But either way, Watch Dogs revealed also during the Ubisoft presentation. A lot of people already know it. They showed off gameplay, more gameplay this time around. The main protagonist, Aiden Pearson, I believe that's his name, but he's trying to help out his friend who's kind of stuck, and they kind of show you how you're able to go ahead and go from one device to another, hacking it to go ahead and help accomplish your missions, and just the overall control that you have over this world. You had Assassin's Creed Black Flag also shown off this time, full gameplay, which sadly enough, towards the end of it, kind of just glitched out and crashed, which, I mean, it's not E3 unless there's some kind of screw-ups, which there's certainly screw-ups on the lines of Xbox One as well. But the gameplay looks great. I didn't play Assassin's Creed 3, and I mean, Assassin's Creed's kind of starting to wear thin on me as a series. I did play 1, 2, Brotherhood, and Revelations. Wasn't really interested in 3 that much. But 4 and Black Flag, with it's still a lot of the same game, but I guess the location, some of the new things they're doing, just the fluidity of the gameplay, and just a lot of it shown was, piqued my interest as well. Elder Scrolls Online was also shown, and you're going to be seeing that coming to the PlayStation 4 as well as other Sony Entertainment titles. I believe that Dragon's Prophet was something they either just flat out said or was hinted towards. So Elder Scrolls Online is going to be on PlayStation 4 as well as the PC. But there's going to be something exclusive. I think it was supposed to be early access or something similar for Elder Scrolls. So that's going to be great. Mad Max kind of came out of nowhere, or at least to me. From what I've been told, Mad Max is actually going to get remade. They're going to be doing a whole new movie for it. So I guess in that case, it kind of makes sense. But just to see, I'm sure like a lot of other people, unless I guess they already knew to begin with, I originally thought it was going to be Fallout until I saw the iconic car, and then when he came out of it, you kind of just see like the shoulder pad, just the getup that Mad Max wears. I kind of, at that point, I'm like, this isn't Fallout. But it would have been interesting to see, too. So, a Mad Max game is going to be taking everybody to the Thunderdome. Or maybe not. I mean, that was in one of the other movies, but actually it wasn't Mad Max. Well, anyways, so that's, again, something to look forward to. And then, of course, I kind of just wrap it up with Destiny. Bungie kind of comes out with their new game, showing actual gameplay this time around, giving you a little tour. The way they spoke made it feel like it was scripted. It probably wasn't. It may have been live gameplay. A lot of people already making comparisons to Halo and Borderlands kind of mixed together, which, I mean, with video games, there's always going to be comparisons drawn. And it's very easy to make a comparison to Halo as far as art style and the whole sci-fi genre thing because, well, they did work on Halo originally. On top of that, Borderlands, because it is a loot and shoot, which Borderlands kind of just made loot and shoot games what they are. It's the most critically acclaimed of its genre. And there is definitely that element. There was more to it, though. The two people that were working on the game kind of partied together. They went through fighting one of the revealed enemy races you'd be going against, showing off some of the gameplay, firing at them, showing off different weaponry, and even special abilities. You saw fireballs thrown, even like a little psionic bomb that was kind of thrown and blasted, kind of wiping everyone away. And then there's the boss fight, which didn't look too difficult, but again, I mean, this is mostly just a demo, and they were really just showing off the mechanics. And of course, I kind of show you the loot, and it looks on top of the loot. The RPG element to it is you can go ahead and get upgrades to different things for, I guess, either the style of weaponry or even the weapon itself. So hopefully we get more as far as that's concerned. Overall, though, again, it started off slow, built up over time. Definitely completely just blew everyone away. If you look online, there's God knows how many different memes that have already been made of PlayStation just beating the crap out of Xbox One. Wikipedia, one of the main presidents or CEO there's a little listing says he was charged with the murder of Xbox One. Burn wards. There's even saying Sony had a burn ward set up for Xbox One at E3. So, of course, Sony fanboys and even non-Sony fanboys alike, I mean, again, it's pretty unanimous that they kick the crap out of Microsoft at Xbox One today. I mean, I don't see how anybody else can spin it any other way. And a lot of people think that I'm anti-Sony just because of the fact that I don't usually, harp on how great they are. But that's because before, they were a great system, but now they definitely have something great to offer, not only to gamers, but to people who want to be indie, self-published developers, and so on. Again, they're doing everything right, and they kind of deserve their place in the sun right now. And we'll see what happens tomorrow. I'm going to try and record what else is going on, review it, because I'm going to be working. I might not get the chance to see it at that time, and just provide more overview and thoughts for anybody who hasn't seen it or anybody who just simply wants to know how I felt about it. So appreciate you for watching, and until next time.